Hello, Natchez. I'm Dan Gibson. I'm your mayor. We're coming to you live from City Hall, and we have with us Sally Doty, former state senator who is now current director of the BEAM office, that's broadband for Mississippi, appointed by the governor just 2 years ago, and she is here with her team, and we are about to turn it over to her. We're talking about broadband for Mississippi, Southwest Mississippi especially, and improving our speed and also having affordability options. And also, we need you to take a test right away, and we need your friends to take a test. Senator Doty's going to tell you about that. Senator Doty, glad to have you.
Thank you so much, Mayor. And this is an easy test. You don't have to study for it. Now, I don't know if you'll pass it, though. That's the problem. We are out in various communities in Southwest Mississippi over the next few days, few weeks, few months, because broadband speeds are such a problem, and broadband accessibility. Some people don't even have access to adequate internet speeds. So my office is tasked with putting together a map of speeds in Mississippi. Now, we're gathering a lot of other data as well, but some of the most important data is just grassroots from people at their homes. And we need you to take a speed test for us that information will flow directly into our Mississippi broadband map. So if you can visit, here's the website, and I'm sure the mayor will put that out for me. But the website is broadbandms.com. broadbandms.com. When you put that in, you will go to a screen where it will immediately, and it starts running 3 speed tests, 3 different ones at the same time. And then it asks you, while you're waiting, a couple of questions. It takes about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. And so it goes through a series of questions. How many people in your house use the internet? What do you use it for? Do you use it for work or school or both? It goes through a few questions, and then when the speed test stops, it will tell you if you're served or underserved, and the questions will stop. Now, we do ask that if you would do this test at least 5 or 6 times, not in a row, but maybe over the course of a week or over 2 or 3 days, if you have a chance to do that test, maybe in the morning, maybe in the evening when everybody's home from work and from school, the kids are gaming, somebody's streaming Netflix. At different times of the day, speeds are going to be different. So we can get that information and find out exactly what kind of speeds and what kind of service is available. Now, I know that when we first started talking about this, some people don't have any broadband access at all. And so I said, what do? We're telling people who don't have broadband to go to a website. So we have a telephone number that you can call. Again, the mayor will have this out, but the telephone number is 601-439-2535. That telephone number is 601-439-2535. Now, we don't have anybody live, it's just a recording. But when you call that number, it will ask you to leave your address so we can understand what kind of problem you're experiencing, if you have slow or if you have no internet. You can also text internet to that number. You can text internet to that same number, 601-439-2535. I think I almost have it memorized now. Getting close. So if you could either text or call or access broadbandms.com. We have a national mapping contractor, Ready.net, that is helping the state of Mississippi through a procurement process to get them on board to help us. And I have Scott Woods with us from Ready, and I'm going to ask Scott just to talk a little bit about the importance of this mapping and the importance for the state of Mississippi for this.
Thank you, Sally, and good afternoon, Natchez. It's my pleasure to be here in your beautiful city on this day today. As Sally said, I'm Scott Woods, Vice President for Community Engagement and Strategic Partnerships with Ready.net, and we have partnered with the Mississippi Broadband Office under Sally's and her team's leadership to build this next generation broadband platform that will direct historic federal resources to the state of Mississippi and ultimately for you. But we need your help. We need you to take this speed test as many times as you can, as often as you can, The results are going to be used by NTIA, the National Telecommunications and Information Administration in Washington, D.C. It's the federal agency that will receive $65 billion to allocate to the states. And we want that money that's rightly going to Mississippi to go to you. And the only way we can do that is we need an accurate measurement and accounting for where broadband is and is not in our community. So not just on the residential basis, but also your community organizations, right? We call them community anchor institutions, the schools, the hospitals, the churches, the community support organizations, nonprofits in the community. We need them to take the test too. And the more information and data that we can get, the better we can submit the plan to NTIA, and the more money will come to Mississippi and Sally's office to build out broadband access and digital equity in your community. So please log on, take the test as many times as you can during different times of the day, answer all of the survey questions, and then you can sit back and watch Sally's team work. We'll be there to support them, and let's see how we can bring the maximum amount of federal dollars to Mississippi to help you and those that you care and love about. So thank you for having us today, having me today, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you. So it is expected that in really the largest grant funding that's going to be available, that Mississippi will get somewhere between 500 million and $1.2 billion for broadband infrastructure funding. Now that's a big difference in 500 million and $1.2 billion. So that's why it's so important that we can identify every unserved and underserved location in Mississippi, because we want to bring that funding to Mississippi. It's competitive among all the states. All the other states are doing this as well. It's a definable pot of money, and we want to make sure that we are able to do the projects that we need to do in Mississippi to get service out to every person in Mississippi. You know, this is very similar to what went on in the 20s and 30s with my grandparents out in the country in their very young years, where electricity came out to the farms. You know, same way. This is going to be transformational for a lot of rural areas. It's going to help Mississippi. I think in our brain drain issues that we talk about, we want to keep all our good Mississippians, our young Mississippians home. And this will allow for remote work, telehealth, increased educational opportunities. I don't even think I have to say these things. We all know these things now. But kind of in that whole mix, providing internet and having it out there is one thing, but making it affordable and accessible is another problem that many Mississippians face. So we want to talk about that issue, and for that I have one of my team members from my team, Angelique Lee, and Angelique is the Director of Skills and Accessibility in my office, and we're going to have some grant funding for digital skills, for training, different programs as we move forward. We don't have that yet, but it's coming. But in the meantime, I want Angelique to talk about the Affordable Connectivity Program.
Sure. Well, the Affordable Connectivity Program is an FCC program that ensures that every Mississippian has access to internet service by giving them a discount. So if you qualify for SNAP, if you qualify for TANF, if you're on Medicaid, if you have qualified for a Pell Grant within the past year, if you are on free and reduced lunch, you qualify. And it's a $30 discount a month towards your internet service, and also a one-time $100 discount on a device, which is a laptop, a desktop, or a tablet. So if you know you are 200% or on the or below the poverty level, you know you qualify. So please go online and sign up. You can also call this number 877-384-2575, or you can go online and click on affordableconnectivity.gov and register, and if you see you qualify, you can send it to your provider and they'll make sure you get that discount. So one of the things that we're tasked with in our office is to not only make sure we have high-speed, reliable internet, but we want to also make sure it's affordable to all Mississippians.
Thank you so much, Angelique. And we're going to provide all of these numbers and all of this information to the mayor, and we so appreciate this opportunity to get this information out to all of you good folks in Natchez.
It's
Thank
really important.
It
And in
is.
fact, if you look at a map of broadband across the state of Mississippi, you'll see that we have a real void in southwest Mississippi. And so everyone out there listening, share this and make sure you do the test and you ask others to do the test, because we want to get real numbers in.
Yes.
I want to thank you, Senator Doty,
Thank
for
you.
your leadership. It's a pleasure to always see you, Angela, and your leadership in the capital city and here on behalf of Beam. And then Scott, a real pleasure meeting you today. Thank you for what you're doing. We will be putting this out there on Facebook and on our city webpage. And together, hey, it's
We'll
going to
get it
get
done.
better and better.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's right. Thank you, Mayor.
God bless.